Retired baseball player Herb Washington, who owns 14 McDonald's franchises, says the company has shown more favorable treatment to white owners and denied him the opportunity to buy restaurants in more affluent communities, according to a civil rights lawsuit filed Tuesday in federal court. The complaint filed by Washington, a former Michigan State track star who played for parts of 2 seasons with the Oakland Athletics in the mid-1970s, said the Chicago-based company's discriminatory practices has led to a $700,000 sales gap between black-owned franchises and those owned by white. Franchises in low-income neighborhoods cost more to operate, have higher employee turnover and are not as profitable. The lawsuit, by relegating black owners to the oldest stores in the toughest neighborhoods, McDonald's ensured that black franchisees would never achieve the levels of success that white franchisees could expect. The lawsuit said black franchisees must spend more to operate their stores while white franchisees get to realize the full benefit of their. Scroll down for a video. More than 50 former black McDonald's franchise owners made similar claims to Washington's in a lawsuit filed against the company in September, saying they were forced to sell around 200 stores in the last. During a video news conference on Tuesday, Washington said he had been fighting a two-tiered system since he bought his first franchise in Rochester, New York, 40 years. According to a press statement, the law firm Piper Wolf Kane & Conway, which is representing Washington, says the lawsuit details how McDonald's redlined Washington and other black store owners into its least desirable locations, withheld advantages provided to white store owners, and then, in the case of Washington, systematically dismantled his 27-store chain empire in New York, Pennsylvania and Ohio, forcing him to sell 7 stores in the last 3 years, in every case, to white owners. Washington said, "There are 2 McDonald's systems, one that is designed for white owners to flourish and grow and another that is designed to pigeonhole and oppress. I will no longer give up my seat on the bus for white franchisees. After 4 decades in the McDonald's system, I have been targeted for extinction. When I stood up for myself and other black franchisees, McDonald's began dismantling my life's work, forcing me to sell one store after another to white." At the very same time, McDonald's deemed my 35-year-old son ineligible to purchase any stores. While it may look like a multicultural mecca in TV commercials, the McDonald's experience for black franchisees is one of redlining and retaliation. Behind the curtain, McDonald's is about cultural appropriation and restricting the transfer of intergenerational wealth in the black community. Washington. Share this article. Share. Joseph Pfeiffer, managing partner, Pfeiffer Wolf Kane & Conway, said, "If a black business leader like Herb Washington can be silenced for speaking up against racial discrimination by a major U.S. corporation, then what black business person is safe?" McDonald's acknowledged its discriminatory racial steering policy decades ago and promised to ensure parity for its black franchisees, but then, if anything, it's even worse today for Herb Washington and other black stores. Washington now owns 12 restaurants in Northeast Ohio and 2 in Pennsylvania. He blames his advocacy on behalf of black McDonald's owners for his troubles with McDonald's has targeted me for extinction, Washington said. The Arches are in full-scale retaliation mode against me. McDonald's issued a statement on Tuesday denying Washington's assertions. The company said Washington is facing business challenges for which the company has invested significantly in his organization while offering him multiple opportunities over several years to address. This situation is the result of years of mismanagement by Mr. Washington, whose organization has failed to meet many of our standards on people, operations, guest satisfaction and reinvestment, the statement said. According to the lawsuit, the number of black McDonald's franchise owners in the U.S. has fallen from 377 in 1998 to 186. The company said in response that while the total number of its U.S. restaurants has risen from around 12,500 at the end of 1998 to 14,000 today, the percentage of stores owned by black people is broad. Washington said he always hoped that McDonald's would change its culture and create parity between black and white franchise. He said the company recently offered him $6 a day for each of his franchises to help close the sales gap. "I can't even buy a Happy Meal with that kind of help," he said. "They don't want a guy like me around." In telling the truth, the 69-year-old Washington holds a unique place in baseball history. An NCAA champion and All-American sprinter, he was used purely as a pinch runner in the major leagues. He got into 105 games for the Oakland Athletics in 1974-75, yet never came to bat and never got on the field with it. Washington stole 31 bases and scored 33 runs for the As. He earned a championship ring after getting into 3 World Series games for the Athletics in their win over the Los Angeles Dodgers in 19. Washington was working as a sportscaster in Lansing, Michigan, near the Michigan State campus, when innovative as owner Charlie Finn called him with an offer to play baseball. Many around the majors considered it a joke, but Washington's speed added another dimension to a team that won 3 straight World Series championships. Washington spent the entire 1974 season with Oakland and was let go in May 1975.